February 17, 2026, Pacific Palisades, California. The 100th edition of the Genesis Invitational was supposed to be a celebration. Riviera Country Club, one of the most beloved courses on the PGA Tour, finally hosting Tiger Woods' event again after the 2025 wildfires forced it to relocate. Instead, the tournament has become a battleground. Rory McIlroy walked into the press room and over cut rules, weather chaos, and the PGA Tour suddenly finding itself under fire from every direction. Subscribe for the full story of the Genesis Invitational controversy that has the golf world divided. Riviera Country Club has stood for 100 years, a testament to classic golf course architecture that has earned it a permanent place in the hearts of players and fans alike. Ben Hogan once called the par 3 fourth hole the greatest par 3 in America. It features a massive front-side bunker and a two-tiered green that has challenged generations of the world's best players. This year, something changed. Both the 4th and 18th holes were lengthened, with the 18th extended by 24 yards to become a 499-yard par 4. But it's the 4th hole that has sparked a firestorm. Stretched by nearly 40 yards to a staggering 273-yard par 3, it's now longer than many par 4s on tour. When Rory McIlroy was asked about the change during his pre-tournament press conference, he didn't hold back. "I actually think it's a horrible change," McIlroy said bluntly. The world number 2, who finished second at Riviera last year, explained why with the precision of someone who has thought deeply about course design. "I don't think 4 plays any differently. You're just hitting a slightly longer club. Well, like 15% of the field hit the green last time when it was played at its original yardage at 230. If you want it to be a 275-yard par 3, you have to change the apron leading up onto the green. The issue," McIlroy explained, "is the thick kikuyu grass surrounding the green. At 275 yards, players are forced to hit long irons or fairway woods, trying to fly the ball onto a green that punishes anything short. There's no way to run the ball up. Again, in the right conditions, you try to fly that ball on the green with a 3-iron, it's going to land, it's going to finish up on the 5th tee box. That's sort of what I mean by why it's not a great change." McIlroy wasn't alone in his criticism. As word spread, other players began voicing their concerns about the lengthened 4th hole. Jordan Spieth went even further than McIlroy. "It's the only weak spot on the course, in my opinion," he told Golf Channel. The hole is course designer George Thomas's take on the Redon hole at North Berwick in Scotland, one of the most replicated holes in golf. The term Redon originates from a French word for part of a fortification, and the green at such a hole is usually well protected. Typically, the green slopes from front right to back left, calling for a draw to make best use of the slopes. But at 273 yards, that strategic nuance is lost. Collin Morikawa, who won the week before at Pebble Beach, described the reality players now face. "It's too soft, unfortunately, to have a lot of control to say, man, I'm going to play a tight 5-iron and run it up. I think a lot of us play it left to chip uphill, but with a 3-wood in hand, that cart path on the left honestly comes into play because the dispersion just gets that much bigger. It'll be very interesting. I think it's just a very long par 3. There's not a lot of thought to it other than just kind of hitting the green and moving on, unfortunately." J.J. Spaun, the reigning U.S. Open champion, striped a 3-wood to the right edge during practice, feeding it down to about 6 feet. But when asked about the difficulty, he was realistic. Because it's Wednesday, it didn't matter really today. When Thursday arrives, the real test begins. Graham McDowell, watching from the LIV Golf world, weighed in on social media. "Few holes that you would like to lengthen on this great course, but this wouldn't be my first choice. Obsession with total yardage can destroy individual great holes." As if the course changes weren't enough controversy for 1 week, another firestorm erupted over the tournament's unusual cut rule. The Genesis Invitational is one of only 3 signature events on the PGA Tour that includes a cut. With a limited field of just 72 players, the tournament cuts the field even further after 36 holes, based on a specific formula. The top 50 in ties make the cut, plus anyone within 10 strokes of the lead. When the leaderboard after the first round showed the leader at 6 under par, that meant players at 5 over or worse were facing elimination. Among them, world number 1 Scottie Scheffler. The reaction was immediate and furious. "Is this real? 2 players are going to miss the cut?" one fan tweeted in disbelief. Monday Q Info, a popular outlet covering tour news, tweeted, "Creating signature events with no cuts so that people could see the stars play all 4 rounds, then adding a cut for some unknown reason and having the best player in the world possibly not play the weekend would be hilarious." Joseph Lamagna of Fried Egg Golf was even more direct. 10-shot rule in a 70-player field is truly ridiculous. We've lost the plot." The criticism centered on a fundamental contradiction. Signature events were created to showcase the tour's biggest stars. A cut in such a small field, especially one that could eliminate the world number 1, seemed to defeat the entire purpose. Some fans drew comparisons to LIV Golf, which typically features 54-player fields with no cuts. "Making LIV look serious actually took some serious thinking about," one fan wrote. Another added, "No doubt, the players on the PGA should be embarrassed, but this is really what they want, limited competition, similar to LIV. The rich don't like competition." The debate tapped into a larger concern about the direction of the PGA Tour. As signature events become more lucrative and exclusive, questions about competition, access, and fairness continue to mount. The controversies swirling around the Genesis Invitational are not isolated incidents. They reflect deeper tensions within the PGA Tour as it navigates a rapidly changing landscape. McIlroy's critique of the 4th hole touches on a fundamental question: how should classic courses evolve in response to modern power? When a hole that once challenged the world's best now requires a fairway wood into a green surrounded by unforgiving kikuyu grass, something has been lost. This debate raged last year when the U.S. Open was held at Oakmont Country Club. The 8th hole was a 290-yard par 3, and Victor Hovland called it silly. "I just think all the best par 3s are under 200. You can maybe have it just over 200, but as soon as you start to take head covers off on par 3s, I just think it gets a little silly," Hovland said. "It just becomes like, okay, you got a certain target here, and then you got to hit a shot around there and make a par, you get out of there, instead of a shorter par 3 that entices you to get close to it. But if you're a little bit off, you're either in the water or in a short-sighted spot." The 7th hole at Pebble Beach and the 12th at Augusta National are iconic not because of their length, but because to be. Are they showcases for the tour's biggest stars, where fans are guaranteed to see the best players all weekend? Or are they legitimate competitions where anyone can be eliminated, regardless of their ranking? The current hybrid approach satisfies neither side. The 2026 Genesis Invitational is now in the books. Jacob Bridgman has his first PGA Tour title and a $4 million winner's check. Rory McIlroy has another runner-up finish and confidence that his game is trending in the right direction. But the questions raised by this tournament will linger. Will Riviera reconsider its lengthening of the iconic 4th hole? Players have spoken loudly, but course officials defended the change, claiming it was made to align the hole better with designer George Thomas's original vision. Will the PGA Tour rethink its cut rule for signature events? The near elimination of world... I'm looking forward to getting on some Bermuda greens over the next couple weeks. His next stop is the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill on March 5th, followed by the Players' Championship. The major season approaches, and McIlroy believes he's peaking at the right time. If you look at how I played last week, the birdies that I made, yeah, okay, I made a few big numbers, but I was able to cut those big numbers out this week, McIlroy reflected. I think I only had 3 bogeys for the week. I feel like my game's in really good shape. The West Coast swing is over. The questions remain, and the PGA Tour finds itself under fire from its biggest stars and its most passionate fans. For more stories on the controversies, rivalries, and moments that define golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell.